All right, time now for the triple option crystal ball brought to you by BetMGM. BetMGM is giving you the chance to win a prize every day during the baseball season. Step into the batter's box for BetMGM's Swing for the Fences free to play game. Visit BetMGM app to access the game, and you'll score a prize if you hit a single, double, triple, or even a home run. So this week, the Crystal Ball coach is going to focus on your old program in Gainesville, the Florida Gators. Win total during the regular season set at 7.5. Thinking about the under already, coach. The over you can get for plus 100, the under for minus 120. These lines, of course, always subject to change. So again, the regular season win total, we're talking 7.5. Last season, they finished with 7 regular season wins. Did complete the campaign with a bowl game win over Tulane. Losses to Miami, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Georgia, and Texas. Ranked wins over LSU and Ole Miss. Curious note, though, of their 5 losses, the quarterback, DJ Lagway, only started against Georgia, and he left that game in the second quarter, had that calf injury. He did lead the Gators to wins in their final 3 starts. That's against LSU, Ole Miss, and Florida State. So a lot is expected of him. Let's take a look at the schedule right now. As I mentioned, I'm feeling the under in Gainesville. We're going to start, though, with Long Island, who I frankly didn't know had a football program. I played against Long Island in soccer. I didn't know they had football.
It'll be 115 heat index in the swamp that day, too.
Right.
All right.
So let's give them the win against Long Island. South Florida is one of those programs that always seems to give in-state schools issues, whether it's Florida State or Miami. But I think we can say, let's just give Florida the win there as well. All right. So 2-0. Then business picks up, coach. How about this 3-game stretch at LSU?
4-game stretch. Look at that.
You're right, 4-game stretch, but really an ugly 3 for sure. Right. So we start at LSU.
Yeah, that's a tough one. L.
Okay. At Miami.
That's a 0.5.
Versus Texas.
At home, 0.5.
0.5. So, all right. So I guess because all those 0.5s, we'll give them 3 wins. Somehow they might steal one of those. And then they go back on the road at Texas A&M.
Damn.
Yeah.
0.5.
Right? You're being generous with your 0.5s right now.
I'll talk.
I know. I'm with you. I feel it. All right. How about this? Mississippi State.
W.
Okay. World's largest cocktail party. Georgia.
I'm going to go Georgia. L.
Okay. At Kentucky.
W.
All right. So we're at 5. At Ole Miss.
0.5. That's 0.55.
Yeah.
6, 7.5.
Versus
Look
Tennessee.
At that. W at home.
Okay. So 6 and change, and then versus Florida State.
W at home. So I'm actually going to say they're going to be above the 7.5.
Okay, you think they're going to hit 8 because you're dancing in that 7.5 range.
I do, and here's why.
Okay,
the book was written on Florida last year. It was over. They lost early, lost bad early, and the sign of a coaching staff and the sign of a team was some kind of there's something that first of all the quarterback was young and he's coming back obviously. But regardless of not regardless, that team fought their ass off, man. And to beat Ole Miss and to beat LSU down the stretch, obviously they beat Florida State. But, that was, I have still so many friends involved in Florida. And the writing was on the wall. And somehow the coach, Coach Napier, the staff, and the leaders on that team ignored the noise and went out and played their best football at the end of the season. So I think there's something there right now.
One of the great resurrections last season, because the early conversation was, all right, what's his buyout? Who else is Florida going to look at? Like a lot of people had written off the Napier era, but there's huge expectations in Gainesville all the time. Coach, you know it, you lived it. And it started with Coach Spurrier, right? 12 years, 6 SEC titles and 1 national title. So when you came into Gainesville, you knew what the expectations were. And Napier, he knows the same as he enters year 4.
Yeah, I think it's different. I think the expectations are, expectations are relative. Expectations are current. It changes. There is a time where Miami, Florida was anything other than a national title was a failure. And now that's not the case at all. So there's been expectations are all relative to the current time period. So I think they might get back there someday. When I got there, absolutely. I felt Steve Spurrier every day of my career. And I'm friends with Coach, and he knows I told him that I felt that visor every freaking day. I wasn't Coach Spurrier. We did things differently than him. but the expectations were SEC championship, and that's a hard-ass conference, man. So I think it's a much different animal in, 2025 than it was in 2005.
So no conference titles since 2008. So are you saying the expectations right now in Gainesville are 7.5 wins in the regular season?
No, I'm not saying that, but there was a time it was an SEC title. I don't think it's SEC title at all. I know it's not. You never hear that. First of all, it's 2008 is the last time they won it. So I'd say, they got to get back there. Obviously, you're talking about one of the best jobs out there, but certainly not the same expectations when you follow a guy like Spurrier.
So how do you get back there?
W's, man, is easy to be on the left-hand side of the column, man, and find a way to lift some hardware. If you do that, then they're back.
Yeah. They've got everything to make
I like their
themselves
coach
get back.
and I like their quarterback. That's a good place to start.
Two great places to have wins, right?
Yep.